What's going on? Yo, yo, yo. How we doing? Excuse me, I'm eating. That's what happens when you live a busy-ish life. Yeah, to eat on stream. Just looking for my highest scoring team. I know I thought I had one 698. There it is. What's that average out to? 698 divided by 4. 170 something. Tough week 1. Tough week 1. So this is the highest score team that I currently have. So that was week 1. Let's see. How did it do last week? 157. That's not bad. Oh, it's a. Wait, that's not me. I'm high. That's not my team. It says Lamar. Trevor Lawrence is the backup. Mark Andrews. Oh, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson. You'll love to see it. It's a fun team. That's a fun team. I don't have very many Aaron Jones teams, so that's interesting. Who are my other running backs? Ronald Jones, Elijah Mitchell. So that'd be nice when I get him back. Mostert, Rashad White. Go. Not the greatest running backs, but they are. They are. Yo, yo, yo. DK finally updated a few hours ago. Slow and steady, baby. Yeah, I actually lost $800. I guess my teams weren't as good as I thought. Not like that. Like I didn't have a lot of because I know I have a lot of Hawkinson. I have 50% Hawkinson, but I didn't have any Geno, and I wasn't like I don't know. I don't have almost any Penny either. I thought I had indifferent on Jacobs. I think it was just a tough week for me overall. Underdog, I kind of broke even. I was only up to 5,000 returning. They came back all the way down to like 3,300. So a little yo-yo this past weekend. Um, yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm gonna pull up your zip here in a minute, Derek. So that was my highest DK. I have a DK that's in third place with 650 some odd points. It feels incredible for it to be that. So I have a 698 lead, about 100 to fall out of this lead. Kind of got that one in the bag a little bit. A little bit. Maybe hopefully we can lap them. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find my lowest. Let's see the worst. Nope, not history. History is not good. That does not reflect well upon me. So let's look for 12s. 451. I think actually at the very bottom there's some pretty bad ones. Yeah, this one. No, that's week 2. Okay. 406. 406 is at the very bottom. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find one lower than 406. I gotta keep checking on StreamYard because EJ says he's coming in around 9 or a little bit after, so. Ooh, a 385. Tempted to stop right there and look at that one. What was that? Middle of the screen? Okay. 385. Ooh, yeah. I wonder what this is team. It's got to be a Trey Lance team. It's got to be. Yeah. Did I have Zach? Oh my, wait, what? Yeah. I don't think I have another quarterback on the same. Damn. This would be funny to see at the end of the season. Because the rest of the players aren't bad. Well, actually, very, very underwhelming team. Is anybody else in here in that team? No. All right, check StreamYard. I don't see him still yet. Dennis, what's up? I have 8 teams. Yeah, I actually have quite a few as well. With over 600, but the highest one was like 650. And it's like in 3rd place. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. If I can't, it's not a big deal. Six, 5. Do 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 do. There it is. 659. I'm curious how many people have what's the highest non-playoff team right now? Yeah, 1 point away from 2nd place. So it's not like crazy, but 3 dudes that are averaging what 100 or 600 points would be 150 a week. So we're all averaging like 170 points a week. Kind of crazy. I have 12 out of 40, first or second in the Millie Maker. All of my teams that are doing well has JT. Honestly, I can't believe it. That sucks. Yeah, it's not bad because you know you're going to get JT back. If it was, I have a lot of Javonte, so I had 20% Javonte at least in BBM3. So that part, Josh. What are you going to do? What am I doing? Pulling up there. So we'll stop screen. They changed StreamYard just a smidge. Sounds good. Sounds good, DJ. Damn. It's good. It's good. So this is Derek's. What is it? I've already forgot. I read it and I forgot. My worst BBM3 team. Don't let Najee be on there. Damn it. Najee on there. What a shame. Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Najee Leonard, Kenneth Walker, Gainwell. That's crazy. That's your worst. I can't remember if that's last week's message or not, but that's a shame. I feel like I saw that. I might have sneak peeked it a little bit. Yeah, that was last week's. I hate that it zooms me up. I think that's why I missed that. We're in October. Just scroll down the bottom and go back up. Boop, 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 boop. All right, let's look at your best one. Your best beat. Oh, dude, you're almost on the you're almost on the leaderboard. Because I think the leaderboard is like 603. And it's a Trey Lance team. You don't need Trey Lance whenever you have Lamar Jackson. I think every top team has Justin Jefferson. You have George Kittle and Kyle Pitts. It may not be paying out dividends right now, but I think that having a combo like that is actually better because how many playoff teams are going to have that combo of tight ends right now? And Pacheco looks good. I might have messed up. I might have messed up in not drafting Pacheco. It might be my bad. I thought it was just too much hype on a guy that was undrafted. So I might be wrong. The rest of that team looks studly, though. I don't know why it does this. Your lowest scoring BBM3. Yeah, Najee's not on this team. Woo-hoo. Might be Nico and Jamar, but not Najee this time. I got hit by the Patrick, and Hamler hasn't done much yet. Got that big catch, though, this week. I don't like to talk positively about the Broncos, but they're sucking a lot right now, and I feel like they could be one of those teams that like turns it around and is like one of those best teams. Your top overall team on DK is the second place team, or maybe it's a second place this week. Jared Goof, Wilson, Herbert, Higgins, Mooney, Kenzie, Hawkinson, Diggs. Yeah, that's a good team. That's a good team. This is Cousins, Boyd, Thomas, Waddle, Waller. Ooh-wee. What a bench. Sermon, Darrell Williams, DeAndre Swift, Jameson Williams, James Cook. Damn, that's your top overall team. So you know you had one huge week with him. You know he's going to explode eventually. He's had a bunch of good weeks. How many points does that team have, Derek? I'm like a point or two off the leaderboard. Yeah, I don't even have. I think my highest scoring. We won't even need to have a look at it. I was going to look at my underdog teams, but there's nothing to look at there, man. They're not doing terribly. They're not doing bad. They're right in the middle. Yeah, I figured it out eventually. My highest is 674 because Hurt keeps scoring a touchdown every week. 674 is your highest third place team, creative thinking? Damn. Almost had me take my headphones off. I guess about too far. I'm at 698. Far from you. But I think of those as just cashing ones. I don't think of those like they're going to advance very far into the playoffs just because that's what happened to me last year. Like my highest scoring one got eliminated in round one. What am I doing? All right. Now we are. I don't think I got anything else. I might be on Spike Week this week. I don't know if Eric is going to have me on. We're in talks to have me on again, as you can see on the screen. I shouldn't. pop my big old head back over. EJ said he'll be on in a minute or two, and we're gonna go over. I guess I should pull that up. Week 5. How'd you guys do on DFS this week? Because I broke even. I think I won just as much as I put in, so not the worst. I think I made like $30 on the Millie Maker though, so not much on the Millie Maker. And then I lost it all. I lost all my profits on Monday. I hear that, man. I've also been very busy at work. Busy at home too, man. I got home. Hung out with Charlie till 7:30. Had to put my daughter to bed, and my wife was cleaning. Then I had to put Charlie to bed. And she was so busy cleaning, she forgot to take dinner. So I ordered some Chinese. Just eat it. Got on. Man, it's been a busy day. Busy day. And another 18 hours of overtime this week. Got EJ in the house. Overtime this week. How we doing?
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Felix? What's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up,
Oh,
Felix? What's up?
I got
That's me. Sorry, I had you on.
No, you're
I had
good.
you in the YouTube channel. So,
Come on. What did
Hey,
I
man.
do wrong? How you doing, man?
oh man, great to see you. Great to be here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what happened with us. I didn't want to talk too long. I know you're in the mix of talking about your best ball, and I think you were just about to talk about week 5 and how everyone's doing. But man, I just wanted to say everything's good here. We were hit by the hurricane last weekend.
Yeah, I was kind of keeping up with that, all that, where you guys were at and whatnot. I was hoping you guys were safe. I assumed that you were when you were messaging me back. I'm like, I don't want to, if it's a sore subject, I don't want to bring it up. So,
Nah, it's good. Actually, stuff's still going around. I don't want to digress, talk too much, but there's a lot of flooding that's hitting us pretty bad. Like there's a big river that goes throughout the whole state.
Mhm.
And I guess when this hurricane is massive, man. And
yeah,
we're not in the zone, but we're only a few miles away of the flooding. It's getting pretty bad.
That's pretty scary. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably be on like world news for the next few weeks. Hopefully it recedes and goes away. But outside of that, not too bad. Unfortunate on the west coast of Florida, got hit pretty bad with the way the hurricane formed over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the middle part of the state. So,
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
We've been good. I've been through a few of them. It sucks, man. It sucks to lose power. You guys all know.
Yeah,
how we live in this day
on the East Coast,
now.
man. Yeah, the East Coast is dangerous. Apparently, I moved out here 3 years ago, and there's been like 3 hurricanes that come through since then. Not 3 years ago.
Yeah, some of them do. Yeah, they do come up there. I know they hit up by Myrtle Beach and over by your way.
Yeah, I work for an insurance company, so I constantly have to. If there's anything that goes through, we have to be like helping because we help out other states too when hurricanes come through. So,
fuck yeah. So you've heard it all, man.
Yeah.
You've heard the sad stories and just having to help people get back on their feet.
Yeah, and insurance is real. I get it. Like, if you can afford it, I always say get insurance, man.
You don't know that it exists until you got to use it. Yeah. For years, it's like I'm paying this shit for
nothing.
Yeah. I get it, man.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull up the DraftKings.
Yeah. I'm just glad to be here and glad to just be able to get back to the grind. So everything's good.
How was your week 4?
I had a couple sweats, but overall, man, I don't go as crazy. I haven't been doing too many of the optimizers. I've only done I do about 20 lineups on each slate, 20 in the showdowns, 20 in the main slate. I've been getting on some of the earlies and afternoons on DK. Had a couple good sweats, but nothing big.
Yeah.
I got a nice sweat for this 2-game slate coming up. I had
Which
a
one's that?
Cooper. I did the Monday night and the Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
$12. I did a $12 single entry,
I think I did
and
that
I
one too.
put in. I got Cooper Cup,
Yeah.
Debo Samuel, Niners D, and Jeff Wilson.
Nice.
And
Yeah, I definitely
that's
did
it.
not do
And
that.
that's all I got. And I'm just banking on Russell Wilson, Hines. I'm gonna fire him up. I missed on Higbee, but if I can find Albert O, I guess if he
Yeah.
can come alive and play more than
Do
5
something.
snaps.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah, and I heard you talking about the Denver, like how they may come alive later in the season. Which
Yeah, because it might be just be first
Wilson's
year, just because of like it. Sometimes it takes a little bit for cohesion. Everybody get on the same plan, and I'm thinking maybe they start picking up. Now there's no Javante, so they might pass it a lot more. It could unfortunately turn into like something similar to the Rams from last year in the way that they like changed their offense to pass more often.
Yeah,
That's my thought process.
you're exactly right, man. It's going to take a little bit for the new coach, new system. I don't know how many coaches are new there. I just know of the one
Yeah.
guy.
The head coach, yeah.
Yeah,
What
but
is
yeah,
his- what's his name? Raheem. I mean, I've already saying Mostert, but it's not Mostert. It's Raheem something. Can't look it up. It's gonna bother me. Tampa Bay.
Nathaniel Hackett. No,
Oh, I'm thinking. Are we talking about Tampa Bay, right? Are we talking about Nathaniel Hackett's
Oh,
the
no.
Denver coach?
yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of the new coach there.
Todd
But yeah,
Bowles,
Tampa
Todd
Bay system, man, they'll be fine. I mean, I think Tom Brady's all in the news again with the divorce and all that.
Yeah, he's getting divorced or whatever.
That was gonna happen regardless if he retired or not.
When he retires, it was going to happen anyways. He wants something new, probably.
The dude's gonna stay in football his whole life till he's 80 years old. He's gonna be an announcer, man.
He's going to be John Madden. He's going to be. I mean, he's playing the exact same role. Except he may not coach.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this guy in the NFL. Guy won 7 Super Bowls, maybe 8.
Yeah.
This guy is gonna be here till he dies. It's just we all see it coming.
Yeah. So Dennis sent me one of his teams, and his
Yo, what's up, Dennis?
And
I see
Dennis
you in there, man.
says
Derek,
that his
what's up,
top DQ team is 724. That is insane.
His
He already
top-
has DraftKings
Holy
team
shit.
on the Millie Makers. It already has 724 points.
That's
He's
nice.
He's beating second place by 107 points. That's got to be a nice feeling to have that little bit of a lead.
Yeah, that's nice. He must have drafted Tua, Jared Goff, and Lamar Jackson.
Probably.
And yeah, he's sitting pretty nice. That's all good, man. Either way you take it, you can just look at your team and look at the potential that you can have moving forward.
Yeah.
You know best. It's all about how you draft in terms of your running backs, your receivers, the numbers, where they're at, where you got the guys.
I think a lot of people who went like anchor RB but didn't like get a lot of running backs are in trouble for the people who drafted Javante. Because even when I drafted Javante, I still drafted like 5 other running backs.
Right.
And I still feel pretty safe. There's a lot of people I know that were going with the like 4 running back and that'll work kind of deal. And I don't think that was the right strategy.
I don't think I did that all on DK, but I heard of people doing that on Underdog, mostly because of the 18 rounds. And
yeah, I did a lot of 2.682s on Underdog, but I couldn't handle 4 running backs. I'm not a robust running back typically all the time, but I need at least one good one. But I can't imagine only having 4 running backs.
yeah,
So let's see here.
man. Before we get into this, I wanted to ask you some of your thoughts on because I was like, what does Felix think? And I'm not trying to troll you at all, but what do you think of? Nah, man. Like, what do you think of your Najee and your Nico exposures? Like, I'm glad that they're still there, but where are you at, like, in terms of like how far are you back? Because I think you still have a huge edge. If these guys wake up, man,
Well,
and you've made it through, let's say they don't wake up till maybe 5 more weeks later.
right. Like that's the thing is like I have all these Najee teams that are currently in first and second, and he hasn't even had his best games yet. So let's say he has his best games, weeks 15, 16, 17. Like how many people are going to have Najee? How many teams of Najee are there going to be if he pops off late? Because I have a lot of those teams with Damian Pierce and Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, so they're doing well right now. And
That's
if
good.
and had Kenny Pickett not taken 2 TDs from him this past weekend, he probably would have had a decent stat line this past weekend. And he's only been improving. And honestly, with Kenny Pickett, you see the offense moving, and at least we know he's going to get it down. Like maybe George Pickens, gets a lot of PI calls in the end zone, and it's like a first and goal at the 1. Like I'm more excited today than I was, last week. Nico,
With you 100%.
Nico's tough. As I drafted Nico mainly for the playoffs, but like I was expecting a little bit more earlier on. He just hasn't put it in the end zone yet, which is more of the issue with him.
Man, so
What up, Blake?
who is your biggest fade that you're doing good at so far? And who's your biggest regret?
Biggest fade.
Like a guy that you were like, man, I told you, like not trying to like
JT
victory
probably.
lap it. Who's that?
JT probably.
Oh yeah, well you can't count JT because it's so rare that you get the first or second overall pick. I'd say someone like in the 5th, 6th, 7th round that you were always like, nope, not clicking that, never clicking that.
David Montgomery, I guess. I
Yeah,
had 0
that's
David. I had 0 David. I had 0 Kamara, which he was in the 3rd round for a little bit. How about
that's
you?
a good one. Hands down, Allen Robinson.
Oh yeah, I have 0
Hands
Allen.
down.
I have 0 A-Rob too. Didn't even cross my mind because we never saw him on my draft board.
And your boy Keenan Allen, man. I know Keenan
Yeah.
Allen's probably going to come back, but
He's not my
what
guy.
kind of ceilings? Yeah, well, your team, but
He's my team, but I didn't draft any of him because I was drafting Palmer because I just assumed Palmer was going to take over the job. But looking back
same
at
here.
it looks like they needed Keenan Allen to be there.
Yeah,
They
I think
also-
so, man. But well, last week was a little outlier with Eckler needing to get his
Mm-hmm.
he needed to eat. He hasn't ate yet this season, so Zeke, I see Dennis
Yeah,
saying
that's
Zeke. But we
yeah.
all know Zeke was on a decline. We know David Montgomery was probably, but the majority, all the sharks, all the guys, all the big content creators were hyping up Allen Robinson. I swear they were hyping him up. This dude is gonna be the Odell Beckham and the Rams. This offense is gonna be the shit.
I know. I heard that too. I'm like, I didn't believe that for a second.
That's the thing, man. These and people like Chacho was telling me is like nobody was hyping up Nick Chubb. Everybody
that's
was
true.
hyping up Allen Robinson,
Yeah.
and it's flip flopped. Like Nick Chubb's like
He's
you
the
wish
number 1
you
running
got
back right now. Yeah.
he is, or him and
Yeah.
Barkley are like the same kind of. I'd say.
He's the number 1 scoring right now, like average at least. Because on Rainmakers, it puts like the person like by average on the screen. So
Yeah, we could talk about Rainmakers later on. Last week was the first week I dabbled into it. I understand how it works now, but I still am a little bit behind the curve.
yeah,
So
it's tough now because now even like the prices that I was getting everybody at was so low. Yeah, I felt like you had to get in early to get like good value at price because I got like at 30 shares of Zach Wilson at $2, and now he's playing and he's worth $10. So he already 5x his value.
Are these
the
tour
card.
cards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't buy. Well, see, the first week contest had a contest for Millie Maker tickets, and my whole thesis is like, well, if I'm gonna play it anyways, like I might as well try to get like free tickets for it and whatnot, and not spend $3,000 every week. So I spent $3,000 like right off the rip on Rainmakers, and I accumulated quite a bit of cards, and I pretty much already made my money. Oh, I have made my money back. I just put another 800 in a couple weeks ago, and I think I need like a couple $100 to make that back. And if I ever sell my cards, I'm going to make like a huge profit.
I hear you. I was going to say, I lowered my head and was like this for a second, because when you said you put $3,000 in, I'm thinking this is why I didn't get into Rainmakers. You got to have a little bit of a bankroll. You got to be able to jump in it, and the way I see it, Rainmakers, they want people to get in, but it's not designed like starting from the bottom, unless it's really not, man.
Yeah, if you would have got in early, like the cards were a lot cheaper. But now, like as the season's gone on, I've noticed that like the better players are obviously priced a little higher this time. Like we were doing so much best ball content, we knew what the players were probably going to be good later in the season. Like Dameon Pierce was going for $1 early on, and as soon as he had his breakout game in the preseason, he jumped to like $4, a card.
I wish I would have. I mean, it's not anyone's fault. If I would have known and maybe not been stubborn about it, I probably would have got some Dobbs and some other stuff like that.
Yeah. So that first week, I ended up winning 70 tickets for the Million Maker. So I was like, it was pretty much, it was just free money because nobody was like, there wasn't like the contest pays out 500 tickets to the top 500 players, and there was 700 people in the tournament. So I was like,
wow.
Yeah, there was so much overlay early on too.
Yeah, I didn't know, man. But even this past week, I understand you can still make some money by trying to bet on players. Like I bought a Kenny Pickett and a George Pickens card.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking that, hey, I mean, maybe they're the ones that establish right away.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you sell it later on.
You sell it later on, and another thought process to have with it, if you want to buy like players that are going to make it to the playoffs, because they're going to have contests for the playoffs.
I see. How do you think it works next year? I mean, they're eventually going to.
They're trashing all these cards, probably.
They're going to what? I didn't hear what you said, lad.
Sorry, I was swallowing. A lot of the regular cards are just not going to be used. I think they're going to say they're going to have 6 small tournaments every week for the people who have cards for the next year, but like not a lot of it, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty much going to try to phase it out, and then the next year you're going to have to buy the cards again, kind of thing.
Good to know. I'm gonna sell. I'm not going to get too attached to it unless I had a bankroll. That's the way I see it. But I still respect it. Yeah. Still respect it. So any last thoughts about best ball? Any other, because I wanted to do at least like a good 5-10 minutes talking about like some type of quarterly review, like where you see, because this is the first year I ever went ham in it, man. I only did like 20 best ball drafts last year. Right. I'm still learning. The whole concept of me being a content creator in DFS is to be a casual guy coming into this. I want to take this is like a raw approach. So many other guys out here are like professionals. They have people that write articles.
I know, man.
They got a big ass team, man, and I respect it. But nobody's like doing what we're doing, and very fortunate that you got a nice bankroll. 100% am on board with believing that that's awesome. But man, starting from the bottom, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, dude, I was there last year, man. I was there last year, I promise.
Yeah.
What I will say, I do think, but I think the whole draft is going to change next year. But if the earlier you draft, I think the better it is to secure 2 elite quarterbacks, because the teams that I have, like a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson team, it feels unstoppable because I had like great picks later in the draft that made it better. Like those my like elite quarterback teams are doing so much better than my like just my average team. I don't know how to explain it. Like any other format is like when I have two good quarterbacks, the rest of the team felt better. Maybe I'm wrong, but the earlier the season, drafting season, I would say drafting quarterbacks earlier probably was better.
Well,
the value of the position.
Have you done any resurrection drafts yet?
No. I watched Spike Week yesterday. And that was insane.
I've done 4 of them so far, and the first time I did it, I did one 2 weeks ago when it first came out, and nobody was really taking a quarterback. It was almost normal, but I did one this past week, and Lamar Jackson in the first round.
I saw that.
Josh Allen, Hurts, all the guys, everyone else you could think of that's been popping off went in the second round. And it's just crazy to see people changing their strategy, believing that this is where you have to get this guy now.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't know what I think of that. I still don't believe that that's the way to do it.
That seems early, yeah. Like, I'll probably fake quarterbacks if they go in the second round.
Yeah. But the way I was doing it, man, I was looking at some of the resurrection drafts, and it's like there's running back value in the dead zone area now, in like the round 5, round 6.
Oh yeah,
you're getting guys like Breece Hall, Miles Sanders are moving up in there.
0 RB is more of a strategy for this resurrection draft, like no other, because you can get. I mean, I got Najee in the 4th on DraftKings today. I didn't do the one, but I did the DraftKings one today.
That's a slap in the face to you, where you were believing him in the end. Everybody was believing him in the first round or end of the. He was going in the second a little bit, but
that's crazy.
I still think there's a path for him. We still don't know the growth of Kenny Pickett. He's definitely. He didn't look that bad. In fact, Trubisky didn't even look that bad.
Trubisky didn't look bad, but the Pickett does look a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, Trubisky didn't look bad in this last game.
I wouldn't say even better. He just looks like he's more willing to take a chance. Like Trubisky was like, he didn't want to throw the interception. Pickett don't care. Pickett's going to throw the interception, but he also might make a great play, which is what I kind of want right now.
Pickett almost won the game. That was a Hail Mary at the end.
Yeah.
I saw the recap. I was like, I mean, it was an interception, but I mean, Hail Marys are luck. I mean, unless you're Aaron Rodgers, they're going to.
I know.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about with you with that. Just seeing where you think, seeing where your level of confidence still is with your best ball drafts.
I was, to be honest with you, after week 1, my whole, I felt so bad. Like my whole body felt bad. Week 2 happened, it leveled it back out. Now I'm like, now I know what the worst could feel like. It was bad after week 1. But week 2 happened, and I'm like, okay, it's not all, the worst thing in the world. But I had a little bit of a dip this past week, but that's just the part of best ball. You got to go with the flows, man.
Yeah, I totally and everyone's sending you their teams and stuff. That's cool to look at and kind of see where you're at, seeing the angles of where you maybe can learn from. Yeah, it's fun in the end.
I would say it's more for entertainment than it is for learning.
Yeah,
because my best teams last year were like some of the worst teams that ended up being in the playoffs. They're like the first ones out.
Yeah. I remember you saying that you had a couple great teams that just checked out, and then the team that took it down barely was skating through.
Yeah,
that's the team I want.
They say it. I want a second place team that is barely making it through but has the best playoff matchups.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I think I have like Bills, Bengals, like almost 1/3 of all my best ball correlations.
Oh, I'm right there with you. If not
So
more.
at least I know Monday night I have a sweat if I have a
I
team that
know, man.
makes it to
That's
round
all
4.
that matters, man. Same here. I
Yeah.
almost went out of my way every draft to get at least one piece of that game. To get something out of
Yeah,
it.
I
And I have a
tried
lot of
to.
Shakir, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, Shakir, he's definitely I heard you talking about Pacheco. Pacheco
Yeah,
is
dude.
like, man, he just looks so
That was my biggest regret that I didn't draft him. That you asked me that question, I didn't answer it, but that'd be my biggest regret, Pacheco.
Oh, okay. Yo, you didn't get on train when he started to move up in ADP
I didn't believe
130,
it.
140?
I didn't believe it.
I mean, he still may not. He may have a spike week in the playoffs. We'll have to see if Clyde. It seems like they're gonna. It's Clyde's chance. Like Clyde deserves the full-time role until
Pacheco looks good, man. I was wrong.
they know it. Even the announcers, like, what was it? Collinsworth was he the one announcing the game? He was like, "Man, Pacheco, here's a guy that is like ready to take over."
He was running hard.
Yeah, he just still has to learn how to block and do a lot of the other NFL shit. I don't know that they're supposed to know at that level. So yeah, I don't have any other thoughts really. You know, me in the Discord, chatting, sharing, trying to hype up, trying to keep myself positive on some of the sweats we have.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, the weekly DFS, man. Did you see last week? Did you see the guy in the Millie that stacked the whole Seahawks and Lions game?
Did you see the guy below who had 30 lineups in the same lineup? The guy who came in second or maybe third.
Third.
30,
yeah, that's 30, what I meant. That guy.
Lineups in the same lineup. He is insane.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. Like, I want to say that. I mean, he obviously must have won in the past doing that before, and now the dream has really came true.
Well, I almost effed up that way week 1 DFS. I accidentally submitted my one lineup into all of my contests as like it was like every single lineup was that lineup. I accidentally did that on week 1 DFS. So I had to go through and change each one by hand.
Did it cash? Would it have
no,
cashed?
No, it did not.
Oh.
It was not a good lineup.
Oh, okay.
So it did not cash. It was like in the 40th percentile. So it wasn't like the worst, but it definitely was not, what I was looking for.
What's the percentile to cash in GPP? Is it like 80 or 85%?
Yeah, it's either 80 or 85. It's like the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it depends on this, how much it fills as well.
All right, I hear you, man.
We got here 9.4. All right.
So, yeah,
have you looked at this week?
Oh yeah, I did one lineup, not on the stream, just me. I spent about 2-3 hours just galaxy braining, looking at some of the matchups, looking at some of the numbers. I don't know if you've looked at it yet. What are your thoughts? Initial thoughts?
I've been going back and forth.
So
I think short games, but how about you? What game is your favorite game this week?
Oh, hands down. I want to be. I know people want to probably believe that Kenny Pickett's going to get like schooled on the road in Buffalo. There's just a part of me that wants to believe that even if they're getting blown out, Kenny Pickett's going to believe he's down 20 or 30 points, that he's still going to go out there slinging it. He's going to try. If there's garbage time in his first career start, this is it, man. At 5,100, I see this guy not getting less than 20 points, man.
That's crazy.
I'm all over Kenny Pickett in this Of course, it could go south, but if it goes south, then he's going to be trying. And the Bills' defense, we know they're banged up. There's just something about it, man. You want to hear a crazy galaxy brain that I just had in this idea?
What's that?
So Mitchell Trubisky was on the Bills last year, and now he's going to be on the sideline. He's still going to be part of the team. I feel like he's going to be helping in some way, whatever that means. I feel like they're still going to be like, all right, you're not in the game, but you're going to help us out. Like, what do we got to do?
Yeah.
There's something about with this, and they beat the Bills last year, but it was the opening game of the season. There's just something about this game where I think there's a chance that they hang with the Bills, and Kenny Pickett comes in here, gets 27 fantasy points. One of the receivers breaks the slate. I want to believe it's Pickens. It could be Deontay Johnson. Maybe he's being pressured a lot by. Maybe there's a lot of blitz packages that they put towards Kenny Pickett, and he's scrambling, throwing some short routes. We saw him throw some deep balls, or try to.
Mm-hmm. He threw one to Claypool that it just like it was an inch to the left. It would have been, if it was an inch to the right, it would have been in Claypool's hands fully. It would have come down with it, maybe.
I see Justin Kelly saying very brave, but man, to win GPP, you gotta think this makes no damn sense.
It's got to make
for the most part.
It has to make 0 sense, because if it makes sense, it's going to make sense to other people, and it's going to either, if it makes sense to more than one person or 10 people, it's probably not going to be the one that wins.
Like, for example, I wouldn't play Baker Mayfield against the Niners D. Like, we already know like what to expect there. Now, what if Baker Mayfield comes out and gets 22 fantasy points? That to me still isn't enough to get me to roster him up, but I would rather roll with Kenny Pickett. He's not going to be in all my lineups, but he's definitely my first look. And usually with my first looks, there's a reason why I just zone in on it. It's like, that's the guy I want to possibly target. I want to look at this game. It's definitely one of those games where Mike Tomlin doesn't want to start out 1-3, right? I mean,
right.
I don't know.
But it's kind of tough against the Buffalo Bills. Like, they kind of assert themselves. If they want to be assertive, they can.
Yeah, it is in Buffalo. I get all that stuff. But, yeah, I'm going to be on that game knowing that it could be a blowout, and the Steelers, Kenny Pickett could be just throwing from behind.
Right.
Maybe he throws a bunch of dump passes to your boy Najee.
I do have one of those lineups.
I don't know how much work is Jaylen Warren getting compared to like McFarland and Benny Snell last year.
Warren's definitely got more work this year than those guys did last year. But they came in knowing that they were going to try to do that this year. And he's getting a lot of like decent work, and he looks kind of explosive. I hate to say it because I wanted all to go to Najee and Warren not to be a thing, but Warren's a good player too. So I don't mind that they use him. Except they always use creative play calling whenever they use Warren. It's like, why can't we use the same play calling when we have Najee out there?
Damn. What tools do you use? Do you use Fantasy Labs? I don't know what.
I just use Fantasy Cruncher.
So it's something similar that gives you like some data.
Mm-hmm. It builds lineups for me, builds data. I'm able to input my stuff, like whatever I want, whatever I think the game's going to be. And it'll change. Like if I say, I think they're going to run 67 plays this week, I can put that in there. And I can change like how many are going to be runs and passes. I can change like who's going to get like a percentage of the passes and whatnot. You can change like how much randomness. It's pretty simple. After Anthony taught me how to use it for week 1, and then I used Run the Sims for single game entries because it's like it can do 5,000 lineups in like 10 seconds
Holy shit.
and show you like what's the most optimal captain if this happens, what's the most optimal captain if this happens, kind of thing.
I always wonder that when I watch some of the showdowns and the leaderboards, like how is there 300 of the same lineup? Like all these guys thought of this unique combination. It has to be almost a zeroed out lineup.
Yeah.
Like,
I was one combination off this past Monday, but they only won $5,000, which I mean it's still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but
I was close too, man. I had Tevin Coleman and I had everything else.
Yeah,
I had everything else. Higbee, I had it all.
Yeah,
but yeah, I had Tevin Coleman.
I had Cup, I had Samuel. I had Stafford, which was kind of a dud.
And I think I had Stafford. I think that was part of the problem too.
Yeah.
So, you have any other thoughts with the Steelers-Bills game outside of me just thinking I'm just off my rocker?
No, I think that's your. I think I was saying the same thing, but I don't know if it's because I have like, Najee colored glasses on. It's like, well, they did beat them last year. They did do it by like through the air with Big Ben, and it's not like. And obviously the Dolphins, showed up. Obviously the defense is like 2 steps down this year, which means I feel like the offense is going to have their way with the Steelers defense. But I don't think that the Bills defense is like that scary right now at this current moment. So I could see Pickett having a decent game.
Yeah, even last game in the rain, it was a little sloppy, and we know Lamar's not and he lost Rashad Bateman. I don't know at what time he left the game. I thought he left.
Yeah, he has a midfoot injury.
And we knew that Andrews was going to be heavily targeted by the defense. 3 games in a row that Andrews smashes. That would have been a little hey, really quick with this lineup. I was going to it's all the lineups are good. I just wanted to possibly talk about another piece that you might want to get in, like another game.
Well, let's put up a.
I feel like you're going to want one of the Buccaneer receivers.
Chris Godwin?
Yeah, he's – I don't know if he's going to be chalk. I want to say he's probably going to be chalk, but if you know how Brady just dismantles this defense the past 2 years, and he's coming off back-to-back losses where he's pissed off. Now now all of his personal business is in the fucking media, man. He's going to come out here. I think Brady may be the optimal quarterback. And, I mean, Kenny Pickett's still nice, but if you could build a stack with Brady.
Well, Brady's cheap too, 6,000.
Yeah, I mean, he's easily got to be probably a chalk play, but you just got to find the right combo with him. If you do a mass entry or do like 20 lineups or 10 lineups with him.
So put that in there. And then where's the time? Is it the 4:00 games? There's Mike Evans. So, what's up?
No, I haven't really picked your brain at all with sorry, I'm filing my nails. It's just something I do a lot when I'm just chatting. I haven't really picked your brain with strategy, with what you do with the way you build your lineups.
I just build honestly, like I just go with like kind of gut feeling, and it works sometimes. It doesn't work all the time, and typically I will throw like a lot of these into an optimizer, like what I do. But I do like having a quarterback with 2 pass catchers. I don't really care for any of the pass catchers other than like the receivers on this team right now. I mean, I know for Lenny's there, but it's like Rashad White's kind of there here and there. It's like he's not going to have blowout games. But my whole thesis is like I have at least two of one team, and then at least one person from the other team. I know that was it DFS Army? They brought up like a stat that like a lot of the teams that was optimal last year or won the Millie Maker, none of them had bringbacks, or like very very little of them had bringbacks. But I personally, I think my best teams are more successful when I have at least a bringback.
Yeah, and we don't know if a lot of those are just optimized lineups where they don't have that rule set in.
And I also try to get somewhere in the range between like 90 to 100% like ownership. This year hasn't worked out as great because like chalk has kind of like been what wins, but I mean, I'm also curious. The chalk was this past week was Rashad Penny, Jamal Williams, Rashad Penny, Hawkinson was chalk.
Oh yeah,
something else was
that whole fucking game, man.
It was pretty chalky, and nobody really, even though we all knew it was like kind of a chalky game to stack, no one really decided to stack the whole game except those few people, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, good for them, man.
Yeah, seriously, because I don't think I could. I could, but I wouldn't have thought to stack it. But in this game, I probably actually in the Tampa Bay game, I just kind of feel like the Tampa Bay game is going to be a rout. And
yeah, you may not even need a run back.
No, I was thinking I was going to put in the defense.
I mean, I want to believe. My heart wants to believe that Algier can get it going early so that they don't have to turn back to Cordell Patterson.
Yeah.
And we know Huntley's, I think they're probably going to have a timeshare.
Yeah.
But I was pretty high on Algier. Me and Cha-Cha, we kind of agreed that we were going to target him, believing that he'll be like one of the top underrated rookie running backs to show
I have
up.
quite a bit too of Algier. I think I had like 15 or 20% of Algier.
Yeah, I want to believe that he definitely has a tough road in the next 3 or 4 games. But who knows, man? This whole Cordell Patterson, sometimes when you go on the IR, you just stay there. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. We don't know either. It's kind of like it was more of a shocker to see that.
Yeah.
Or was it a shocker? He was limited and kind of banged up coming into the game, and then he played, and
then he got hurt immediately, pretty much.
Yeah, he did score a touchdown. So
this Houston
like Brady.
This Houston Jacksonville game is probably gonna be my most stacked game. The last 2 games last year, the 2 games they played last year, they both scored 30 points each time. So like 60 points totals. Now, to be fair, they improved their defense, so it could be less this year. But
yeah,
they were kind of shootouts last year.
Yeah, I agree with that. It does seem like the Jaguars D is improved. They had a nice lead last week. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's one of the recaps I haven't watched yet. I haven't watched that recap. Man, I wish I was. Did you draft any Jamal Agnew? That should have been your.
I have a couple shares, but I do not have enough.
I knew it, man. I knew that was like their wild card guy that when any of the dudes go down, like Lawrence likes him. Whenever he's on the field, he's looking for him.
He really does, man. It's incredible. What do you think about this lineup?
Let's see. I wasn't looking at it. So you got Tom Brady, Harris. So obviously you want one of the pieces. It's either Harris or Stevenson. They're both practically the same price. Mm-hmm. Eckler, you're believing that. he's gonna repeat, and Godwin, Evans, Zay Jones. So you want to believe that Zay Jones is gonna come back and not be limited. And Knox, so Knox hasn't popped yet. So you want a piece of that game. Maybe it's the Knox piece.
Yeah.
And Brandon Cooks repeats with Buccaneers D. I think the only problem is I don't know what to think of Zay Jones. Like the price is great. I just don't.
So I
I
can
don't.
go with Nico there.
Yeah, Nico. I like the nice bomb that he had.
Yeah, Nico there, and it has has a part of that game that I want, and then leaves me 6,200.
Yeah, so you can get a. I mean, how much is Christian Kirk?
I think he's like 65. I can be wrong though.
You could probably pay down at
66.
Buccaneers D,
Yeah,
or find a little bit more value instead of Eckler in case somebody else pops.
what's your favorite D this week?
My favorite
Defense.
team or defense? Huh. I didn't.
I've struggled a little bit with this one today. My brain is the
too much
same
thought.
because I think the Seahawks haven't played anybody real or played a real defense yet. And I feel like the Saints defense is going to be like it's going to shut them down.
You got a good point. Geno
But
Smith.
that's my only defense I've really thought about this week.
He's been high on his high horse there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what about let's see. Where are the Jets at? I want to believe that Teddy B. I don't know. I know it's hard to want to target the Jets D. I always want to think who could make a mistake, who could try and. I know some people just punt defenses, and I'm with you, man. I want to try and find a unique D that can make a statement, especially a cheap D.
I try to I like to draft because on Underdog on Fantasy Cruncher they show like what defenses are 5% like or what the ownership is, and I always like just mark out whatever is 5% and up because I don't want to have the same chalky defense as everybody else.
Who do they have projections out already?
Let me check.
I don't see any projections on Fantasy Labs.
Second, DraftKings.
But it does tell you who they view as the highest rating. So they say Titans D, Cowboys D against the Rams, which makes sense. 25.
Cowboys are at 9%. Titans at 8%. Dolphins at 7%. Bears. I think I have all the games selected. So yeah, 1 second. 12 games.
Obviously, the first one that makes the most sense is the Niners D.
Why is the Cardinals D 6-7% owned? Oh, because it's the cheapest. So the real cheap defenses are at the top right currently.
Yeah, the Cardinals D is one that, unless there's some crazy combination you want to fit in where it's like, I got 2,100 left over. All right. Yeah. But, man.
I don't want to play that defense.
No.
Not at 7%.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what is the Jets defense?
Jets are literally the least owned defense currently at 1.9%.
There's just something about like the way they got the win. Mm-hmm. They got Zach Wilson back. They're maybe fired up. Dolphins are reeling a little bit.
The only problem with us is they had Tyreek, and it's like, man, he can literally make anything happen on the field. But the rookie, even then, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I could just maybe see. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a great start. It's just it's kind of hidden, like you said, 1%.
Eagles are at 2% with 8 projected points.
But the last time Teddy B came into a backup, when he backed up Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, Saints quarterback, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, yeah.
Came in there and he won like 6 straight games.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that he's capable.
I want to believe so bad.
What's that?
I want to believe in. Well, I know we're talking about Teddy B, but I'm like, I want to believe in Zach Wilson so badly. I want to think that he's good, man. That's all
I know you have a lot of exposure to him. I was trying to think that maybe this could be a week where Breece Hall kind of possibly pops.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Everybody's been like the Jets the Jets team has been like the Browns. They've been like the Browns over the past when the Browns were like so shitty and haven't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the Jets have been over the past 5-10 years. And now I think they're going to maybe win some games this year. I could see this being more – I don't really want to target much of the Dolphins, but I could be wrong, man. We're all just here trying to galaxy brain it. This is really my first look talking to anybody about it.
Yeah. Justin, the reason if you're running both receivers and whatnot from Tampa Bay and not running it back with London is because if we think it's a route, you don't have to have anybody coming back, or maybe like he's just not the guy that produces. I don't see them trying to run the ball, or if they do, like I think all the passing like. Last year, you didn't need in the games that they played Atlanta last year. It was just Godwin and Evans, or maybe it was Gronk, but they didn't use any running back, and they just put like 40 on them, and it's like they didn't need anything on the comeback. That being said, you can. There's nothing wrong with having a comeback player, especially how good London's looked, but.
Yeah, he has looked good, and it looks like Kyle Pitts is banged up.
Yeah.
Man, I hope that's not a bust. I hope whoever has him and you advance deep, I hope he then pops. But he doesn't have – what's that?
Did you get a new camera?
Camera?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're looking really clear and crisp today. I just noticed that.
I have my other one here.
Okay. Oh shit. No, the other.
I got Jack.
Internet
back there. Yeah. Yeah, we're just hanging out, man.
Cha loves me. The Bills, Bucks, Eagles, Jags, Fins, DST this week. Yeah. That makes sense. Those are all good defenses.
He doesn't want to believe that the Zach Wilson train could continue.
I hope.
I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it last week, but since he did,
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he looked all right, man.
Look, all I wanted him was to be average last week, man. That's all I wanted. I don't need him to do anything till week 15, 16, 17. I set my defense randomness real high because standard deviation. Let the cruncher rip it. Yep. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. All right, EJ, I'm going to head on out. Yeah, let the wife go to bed.
All right, man. Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me, talking Week 5 DFS and a little bit best ball review, so I appreciate it. And
man.
We'll obviously do this again sometime.
Yeah, I'm always here if you want someone to just chat with. I don't like Justin probably knows more DFS than I do. All these guys do. I'm just a dude that likes to just hang out and chat.
We all do.
That's all it is, man. But yeah, thanks for having me on, and we'll I'll be here if you want to chat again. We could look at some more stuff next week or later on in the season, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun.
Real fun. Yeah, man.